Hi everyone, my name is Justin Hahn, and this is my Module 1 Building Professional Capacity Through Personal Introductions presentation. All right, to start off a little bit about me, I am from Fall River, Kansas. It's a small town in southeast Kansas. I am a dog dad to two bulldogs, Otis and Gus. I enjoy all things traveling. I love grilling, and I always am up for a good game of gin rummy. I also love spending time with my family and friends. A little bit about my educational journey. I graduated in 2016 with my bachelor's in elementary education from Kansas State University. After Kansas State, I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, and began my teaching career in the Clark County School District. As a result of COVID, I moved back to Kansas and I accepted a position in the Derby School District, where I am now in my second year of teaching third grade at Tanglewood Elementary. The current school demographics at Tanglewood, we have 454 students and 27% free and reduced lunch. I'm now going to start off with the synthesis of the 5 articles that we were asked to read. To start off with, supervision and evaluation of school personnel is essential to school, student, and community success. Though educational leaders have differing opinions on what supervision and evaluation looks like, all efforts should focus on supporting and encouraging the school vision. As educational leaders, we must be mindful of both teachers who require additional support and also of teachers who are currently performing at their highest level. Teacher burnout, as we know, is at an all-time high. In my current school building, out of the 18 K through 5 teachers, 9 of them are brand new teachers in our school. In order to create a positive school climate that reduces the struggles and pressures of the job, educational leaders must address the needs of the staff. According to 10 Steps Towards School Staff Well-Being, focusing on staff well-being provides an opportunity to look at how improving the experiences of staff might perhaps contribute to addressing these issues. The recruitment, retention, and development of staff is pivotal to the success of the school. Educational school leaders need to have a plan in place to tackle teacher recruitment. Within the first few days of school, the building principal needs to set aside time to interact and build relationships with the new staff on campus. Throughout the school year, encouraging staff to become involved and contribute to the school culture will help create a positive school culture. And there is a connection between a principal's comfortability with addressing mental health issues and mental health wellness amongst the staff. The complexity and unpredictability of education has made it a priority for educational leaders to be comfortable leading those difficult conversations regarding mental health. Overall, I felt like a quote from Go Hill said it best. If we focus on creating a positive work environment for our teachers, this will have a positive impact on their well being. It will boost morale, and ultimately, in the long term, it will help to retain valued and experienced teachers. Now, we're going to talk about some strategies for developing a culture designed to support improvement. Starting off with providing staff feedback and opportunities for reflective practice. One of the most impactful practices that a teacher can go through is reflection. A commonly stated purpose of teacher evaluations is targeted professional development to improve teacher effectiveness. So, through that evaluation process, we should be looking at the evaluation and seeing what kind of professional development is needed to support that teacher. Opportunities for growth. As a goal, principals should encourage teachers to gain additional endorsements to increase their certification and, when possible, pay for teachers to take the classes needed to attain additional licensures. I know in my past, my principals have paid for professional development for math courses, so I am more certified and qualified to teach specific classes. Lastly, something that wasn't mentioned in any of the articles, but I did think was a opportunity for school improvement was professional learning communities. With established norms, PLCs can provide a safe environment for coaching and learning to take place. This provides an opportunities for teachers to share on ideas how to push students to be their best. Next, we'll talk about strategies for developing a culture designed to support retention. The first one that came to mind was leading by example and reducing workload or limiting hours spent outside of working. One of the articles talked about reducing the number of emails you send outside of work. That's something that maybe we're not always thinking about, but it does impact the mental health and wellness of teachers, which might cause them to not want to, might get burnt out. Another idea is a mentorship program. The use of a mentorship program provides new teachers the opportunity to connect with an experienced teacher that can guide and support them along the way. The articles mention the idea of a retired teacher volunteering or receiving a pay to mentor. This doesn't. This is a great idea because it doesn't add additional workload to another teacher in the school, which in return would cause a burnout potentially. Lastly, the most important and I think significant is just invest in our staff. We must celebrate, encourage, build, support, and invest in our new teachers. The principal must set a time, not just new teachers, but all teachers. The principal must set aside time regularly to debrief and interact with new teachers. Time with new teachers is far too critical for a principal to delegate to another staff member, and it should remain a priority on a principal's agenda for the entire academic year. Next, we'll talk about strategies for developing a culture around learning. Leading learning in the school setting, building administrators, they're the leaders of learning in the school setting. Sharing and creating opportunities for PD on new educational technologies, teaching strategies, and interventions will overall increase the school's educational capacity. Next, test preparation. Utilizing the school's teachers as tutors for teachers who are not fully certified. As we know, not all teachers who start off are fully certified. So, this would be a win win situation because those teachers who are acting as tutors could receive compensation, and the non certified teachers would be learning the information needed for certification. Lastly, we'll talk about the well being. Being transparent is probably the most important. We know being transparent it shows honesty and openness, which in turn builds trust, which is needed, builds trust, which needs to be at the core of any school in order for teachers to feel happy. Next, we need to identify the needs of the staff through a survey. Many times, I've been in situations where I've been offered different sort of resources, but the sort resources don't really necessarily match my needs. So before addressing the staff's needs, we first must figure out what they are so we can meet those needs. Lastly, something that I am really interested in recently is that mindfulness, which simply making your staff more aware of mindfulness and the health benefits it can have shows that you're not only open to discussing mental health issues, but it also shows you're supporting a healthy work environment. Here's my reflection of the assignment. So the standard correlation, this assignment provided me an opportunity to analyze several different strategies for teacher improvement, retention, learning opportunities, and teacher and student well-being. I was also able to see how my initial ideas of staff supervision and evaluation compared to the reading. This is relevant because as aspiring building leaders, we will be responsible for providing supervision and evaluation that supports and encourages our school vision. This is critical because the more effective and mindful we are with our staff, the more successful our students will be. And lastly, this has improved my educational leadership skills because it has made me more aware of my responsibility in managing my staff's mental health. I need to be mindful and aware of my mental health and model healthy behaviors. Like I said earlier, one of the articles mentioned reducing the number of emails sent outside of work, so one might not realize the impact that has on their staff. And in conclusion, here are my references.